Well, hello, traders and investors. My name is Roger Scott. Today is Monday, October 5th. It's the second week of October. Boy, let's get into it right now. A lot to talk about. We've got the economic calendar, we've got the news, we've got Trump's health, we've got the election, and I'm going to show you a little pattern I'm seeing on a specific group of stocks. And yes, I've told you about this about 2 months ago, but they're making a move again. And it's time to get into it, so let's talk about it, and let's get into it right now. Starting with the economic calendar for the week. This week is not going to be as busy as last week. We've got FOMC minutes, which we kind of know what the Fed is saying, and we already know what they're looking. The big reports for the week, jobless claims. Although the numbers have been lower than the 4-week moving average, a lot of analysts are very suspicious and disappointed that the numbers are staying so negative for so long and not bouncing back to where they were pre-pandemic. We've got goods and services trade. That's going to be pretty important. Petroleum status report. We've got more crude oil in the world than we can ever imagine. Nothing really much there. We got Jerome Powell speaking. Keep your eye on the bond market tomorrow. But overall, it's not going to be a crazy week like last week unless Trump's health takes a turn for the worse. Don't see that happening. Again, not seeing a big week. Going to this week, the markets are going to actually show their hand, in my opinion. And I got to show you something cool. But first, let's talk about global economy. Let's talk about the broad markets, and then I'll show you a specific sector. And again, there's not going to be any surprises here if you've been following me. But if you haven't been following me, I'm going to show you something cool. So, global shares, they rose Monday as investors were encouraged by positive reports about President Trump's health after he was hospitalized. I think he's going to be okay. I think they got to him in time, so to speak. Trump briefly ventured out in a motorcade on Sunday. I wonder if the people who were driving the car had COVID or not, or he just didn't care. I don't know. To wave to cheering supporters, his medical team reported that his blood oxygen level dropped twice, and that they gave him a steroid, typically only recommended for the very sick. That means he wasn't doing as well as was reported, but who really knows? They also said his health is improving, and he might be discharged today. Man, this guy, I gotta say, for a 74-year-old man, this guy's pretty springy. He is. What are you gonna say? I like that. That's good. I'm glad that Trump is making is turning around. I'm glad that he's not getting stuck in all of this. This is great. Fujitsu president Takahito Takita, I hope I got it right, apologized Monday. Well, that's a good start. For a breakdown last week in Tokyo Stock Exchange trading system. They just stalled, which the Japanese company has developed. Well, at least they're taking responsibility. Speaking during the online webinar, he promised to work with the exchange to prevent further occurrence. Thank God. We don't need that, because if it happens again, we're going to be arbitraging against Japan's currency and so forth. On Friday, S&P slumped 1.7% due to worry about Trump and employment data. But by the end of the day, it has trimmed losses to 1%. Despite the drop, most of the stocks in the index were higher. And I'm going to tell you a big clue right now. The pairing of losses on Wall Street late last week came as optimism rose that Washington may be able to get past its partisanship to deliver more support for the economy, which is what we need. Speaker Nancy Pelosi told airline aid for them is imminent. That's huge, huge, huge. She said a wider rescue package for the economy could also perhaps be on the way. That would be really bullish, and I think stocks are starting to see that. Trump's infection with the COVID highlights the continued spread of the pandemic, the potential for the outbreak to escalate as cold weather forces people indoors is raising worries that the government may put some type of restrictions on businesses. And crude oil, it's not even at $40 now. It's at $38 a barrel. Remember, U.S. frackers pay more than $40 a barrel before they start operating on it. So they're in the red right now, which is not good. Now, I want to show you something really interesting that nobody is talking about. I want you to see something. This is the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 has been lagging behind for almost 2 years. It made a high. Here we go. Let's see here. The last time it made a high was beginning of this year. All right. That was 10 months ago. Notice lower highs, high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Now look at the S&P 500. higher high. Pay attention. No one's talking about this, and this may be the most important thing you're hearing about right now. So the Russell 2000 started cooling off when Trump started the trade war. When he started the trade war, why? Smaller stocks. They're more vulnerable. They have less exposure. I've talked about this several times. If you guys want to get a good clue on who's winning the election according to the stock market, start paying attention to the relationship between the Russell 2000 and the S&P. For example, on Friday, let me just show you something. The 1 month, now this is a sector that's been lagging behind. On Friday, it went up 0.44, right? Trump was sick, right? On Friday, S&P closed 0.95. The S&P is now below the 50-day moving average. The Russell right now is above the 50-day moving average. This is the first time in a year that the Russell has led the market ahead of the S&P 500. That's telling us one of two things. It's telling us that a lot of investors on Friday, when Trump was really sick, believed that Biden was going to be the president. The market reflected that. The reason that's happening is because Biden will put an end to the trade war or will mitigate it to a point where it won't impact the Russell 2000, where Trump wants to go hot and heavy on the trade war. So if Biden's the president, no trade war. If Trump is the president, big trade war. No trade war. Russell 2000 has about 20% that it's got to make up to be back in line with the S&P. So all I'm saying is I don't know who's going to win and I don't know what's going to be stronger, and I'm not going to get into a deep political discussion. But what I will tell you is this. Watch the Russell 2000 very closely in relationship to the S&P 500, okay? And if you see the S&P 500 lagging, like right now, notice it's just touching the 50-day line, where the Russell, it's already trading completely above the 50-day line. And again, closed Friday, 0.44. Where did the S&P close? 0.95 negative. Let's look at the NASDAQ so you can see. NASDAQ and the S&P should be on the same page. Look at that, down 285. And the Russell is positive. So if you keep seeing the Russell gaining strength over the NASDAQ and the S&P, that's telling us that the markets are assimilating that Biden is winning the race. Now, does that mean Biden's going to win? No. We don't know. Does that mean Trump is going to win? I don't know. Nobody knows. But I think the best gauge of who's going to win is not political surveys. I think it's the stock market, because people actually put their money to where they believe. You know, money, when people put their money behind them, that's very, very powerful. And right now, as of Friday, we saw money moving into the Russell 2000. So just a note. Now, I hate to say I told you so, but over 2 months ago, I told you that the residential real estate, the home building sector, the residential loans, anything relating to residential homes is moving higher. Why? Because the interest rates are zero, practically, and people are refinancing. So I'm going to show you a group of stocks that are just killing it right now. Look at this. And I like all of this. ITB ticker symbol, U.S. Home Construction iShares. Nice little flat period. You know how much I like flat periods before breakouts? New high on Friday. You think that's it? How about this one, XHB? Home builders, XHB. Flat pattern, new breakout. You think it's a coincidence? How about Builder? Builder's First Source. Look at that nice little flat top, new high. I'm not done yet. How about DHI Horton, one of the largest home builders? Nice little flat top, touching the 50-day moving average, breaking out to new highs. How about Lennar Homes, home builder? You guys think this is a coincidence? They're all doing exactly the same thing. Nice little flat top, breakout. And how about Toll Brothers? Nice little range. None of them have higher volatility. They're just congesting and now ready to break out again. And I think they're going to go higher and higher and higher. So let me go through them again. ITB, and they're all doing exactly the same thing. ITB, Ally, that's Ally Bank. They do financing for home mortgages, all-time high. Hello, hello. XHB. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stocks, all doing exactly the same thing. Builder, all focusing on residential home construction. DHI, look at that. Lennar, and you guys can rewatch this video. And Toll. I think I've said enough. Home builders. How long ago did I say this? Oh, like 2 months ago. Oh, and the other big sector, what are the biggest stocks that are leading right now? Freight shippers. I told you that too about 2 months ago. FedEx is the #1 stock, followed by UPS. But I'm going to give you a freebie right here. Here's another one nobody's looking at. Car Carrier Global. Man, I'm giving you a lot of info here. Look at that. Congestion just made a new high, completely bucking the trend. I like these stocks. Now, if you think this is cool, wait till you hear this. What would you do? What would you do if I told you that you could take just 2 days out of the month to pull thousands of dollars from the stock market? Literally thousands of dollars. 1 day to enter the trade and the second day to get out. What could be simpler than that? Thanks to this one market phenomena, the simple market phenomena, you could see which trades should enter by the 3rd trading day of the month, with the chance to potentially get out with thousands of dollars on the last day of the month. I'm not talking about 10%, 15%. I'm talking about 100%, 200%, 1,000%, 1,200%, 1,400% gains, all on simple blue chip stocks. I mean, real simple blue chip stocks. No Amazons, no Nvidias, no Google, just regular blue chip stocks. Wall Street veteran Jeff Zenaneri and I are breaking down everything you need to know about this strategy. Click on the link below, check out all the details, and don't miss out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. By the way, if you're getting something out of this, let me know. Put something in the chat box. If you don't like the color of my shirts, let me know. Or send me an email, support@marketgeeks.com. I want to hear from you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week ahead. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. Bye, folks.